So you're thinking about moving to Oakton, Virginia, but you'd kind of like to know the good and the bad that comes with living in Oakton. Well, in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons that come with living in Oakton, Virginia. So let's get into it. We are going to give you the good news first, starting out with the pros of living in Oakton, Virginia. And the number one pro of living in Oakton is its fantastic location. Oakton is just under 20 miles outside of Washington, D.C., situated in Fairfax County. And although you are in the suburbs, you are just a stone's throw away from Vienna, Fairfax, Tysons Corner, and just about 30 minutes to get into Washington, D.C. So it is a phenomenal location. You are nearby local airports, and you are also just a couple miles from Metro. Pro number two for Oakton is its highly rated schools. Oakton has a very sought after pyramid within the Fairfax County public school system, and it is a phenomenal place if you have children and you're looking to get them into highly rated schools. Oakton will definitely check that box. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing in Northern Virginia, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you'll never miss a video. Pro number three for Oakton is access to shopping, dining, and entertainment. And I kind of debated on this one because within Oakton itself, it's a very small area, only about 9.8 square miles. So there isn't a ton in Oakton itself. You have, your giant food, your pharmacy, plenty of restaurant dining options. But nearby Oakton, and by nearby, I mean in some cases in walking distance, you have Vienna with the downtown area that is so charming and an endless amount of shops, dining, and entertainment. You also are extremely close, only about 10 minutes away to Fairfax Corner. So if you want to go grab a bite to eat and then take in a movie, you can do that there. Oakton really does have an endless amount of options nearby, whether it's Fairfax, Reston at Reston Town Center, your minutes to Tysons Corner, and you can take advantage of all of those areas. So I think it was worth mentioning in here that it really is a pro of all the different options that are just a stone's throw away from Oakton. And then you of course have Oakton options themselves, just not quite as many as the surrounding areas nearby. Pro number four is safety. The crime rate in Oakton is 68% lower than the national average, and the violent crime rate is 76% lower than the national average. So as always, do your own research because everybody has a different definition of safe, but in terms of comparison to the national average, Oakton is a very safe place to call home. Pro number five is Oakton's natural beauty. Oakton really is a beautiful place to call home. There are a lot of single families in Oakton and they are on larger lot sizes by Northern Virginia standards. And you'll still find 2-lane roads in Oakton. They're paved, of course, but it doesn't feel like you're as crammed in Oakton as you are in, say, Arlington or even parts of Fairfax. It is just a beautiful place to call home. And if you enjoy being surrounded by trees and lush landscapes, Oakton should definitely be on your list of places to look into. Pro number six for Oakton is proximity to major commuter routes. If you are going to be commuting into Washington, D.C., Tysons Corner, Arlington, or even if you're commuting out to, say, Reston, Herndon, Oakton is an extremely convenient place to call home. It's minutes to 66 and 123. It's also not too far from Route 50, and it has easy access to the toll road as well. So no matter what direction you're heading in, you're just going to be minutes from a commuting route that you need to pick up. And like any other area, Oakton does have some cons. The number one con of living in Oakton, Virginia is high cost of living. Oakton is a very sought after and affluent area to call home, and because of that, it's definitely going to cost you. Oakton will cost you 76.6% higher overall than the national average for cost of living, and housing is where it's really going to get you. It's 209.7% higher than the national average. Groceries are also going to run you a little bit more, 16% higher than the national average, and your transportation costs are going to be more as well, and that's going to be 32% higher than the national average. Con number two is traffic. And this is across the board in Northern Virginia. I feel like a broken record. I'm always talking about traffic, but it really is an important factor to know about if you're considering moving to Northern Virginia. Oakton is no exception to our traffic here, particularly because it's so close to 66, 123, and also the toll road, you are definitely going to experience congestion as far as traffic goes if you're living in the Oakton area. If you can plan your commute or running errands off of peak times, then you'll definitely experience less traffic. But I would say in general, if you're talking between 7 a.m. to really about 9 p.m. in the Oakton area, there's going to be traffic. Con number 3 is no metro station and somewhat limited public transportation. Oakton is, of course, very close by to major commuter routes, and it's also within somewhere between 2 to 6 miles, depending on where you are in Oakton, from Vienna Metro. So there is transportation, public transportation nearby. But if you're comparing it to other areas in Northern Virginia, access to, say, public buses to get you to Metro is somewhat more limited than if we were talking about, say, Arlington, Alexandria, those areas that they're more dense as far as population goes. So their transportation infrastructure when it comes to public transportation is definitely more in depth than what Oakton can offer. Which leads us right into con number 4, and that is Oakton is car dependent. Not saying that you can't walk to some areas in Oakton, you certainly can, but as a whole, Oakton is really not all that walkable, and it's also not all that bikeable. It doesn't have a ton of bike lanes. So if you are living in the Oakton area, it's highly likely that you are going to need a car, whether that's to commute back and forth from work or to just navigate the area for your daily needs, errands, and that type of thing. Con number 5 is limited nightlife. Keep in mind, Oakton is in the burbs. It's primarily a residential community. So if you are looking for an area that has a vibrant nightlife, you're either going to need to travel just a short distance outside of Oakton, or if you prefer to be in walking distance, Oakton probably is not going to be your best bet. Oakton is a highly sought after area to call home. It really is in a phenomenal location if you're looking to have a little bit more elbow room, but still be nearby anything that you could possibly want for shopping, dining, and entertainment, along with being very close to Washington, D.C. As always, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, reach out on social, whatever works for you. We've got your back when you're making that move to Northern Virginia. And until next time, we hope to show you around town.